We're continuing our discussion with the experts from CattleFax, trying to crack the code on this challenging market environment. Brett, I want to come back to you for just a moment. We talked about the challenging decision of whether or not to sell calves at weaning or go ahead and keep them and background them, especially given all the forage we have out there. What insight would you offer?
Well, maybe the best way, Kevin, is just to take a look at an example of what we did in our Trends publication in September. There was an opportunity there based on the feeder cattle futures market. If we look out to January, we could see what a 775, 750 weight steer was going to be worth in January, and we could also see what those calf bids were coming in at for a 550 weight steer in October. So using those two numbers, we can back between them, figure out what the market is paying to get a 550 pound steer to 775 out in January, figure out what the cost of gain is, and then we can look at our forage and say, does it make more sense for me to hold that calf, put some weight on him, and market him as a 775 in January? And those opportunities open and close as the markets shift, but there in September we had a real opportunity to do that. Yeah, I would say over the last 2 years we've seen more and more producers analyzing that opportunity, participating in backgrounding calves.
You bet. And from a seasonality standpoint, you said that's pretty predictable, or at least it has been. What other advice would you offer folks about how they can capitalize on the seasonality that exists in the feeder calf market?
Well, as I mentioned, you know, the bulk of our spring-born calves are all priced in October, November, right at the dead low, typically in that market. There's a multitude of opportunities. There's probably more opportunities today than there's ever been.
Okay.
But one of the real easy opportunities there to get your pricing out of that time period is the use of the video sales.
Okay.
You can put your calves on these video auctions or internet auctions, and you can get those calves priced way before you have to deliver them. It's just a chance, whether you use that or whether you use forward contracting, it's a chance to get your pricing out of that October, November market. Now, we look at that video sales data and we do a lot of analysis, and what it's done, it's provided us some real opportunities with analysis. In our Trends publication, this was a chart that we ran there in July after the July video sales, and we said, what is the price of calves? We're sitting here in July. What is the price of these calves that are going to be delivered in September, October, November, and on through? And what it's allowed us to do is almost put together a calf futures market. We can look, if I'm a producer sitting there in July, I can say, hey, where's the premiums in the fall for these calves? When do I want to deliver my calves, and what weight do I want them to be? And so that kind of analysis and that kind of data gives us a real opportunity to get better at marketing in the cow-calf world. It also provides us opportunities to see what is source and age verification worth. That's a real easy one for producers. Doesn't require a change in how you do things. It requires a little paperwork. But we can look at those video sale prices, and we can say the calves that are source and age verified are getting $1, $2, $3, sometimes $5 a hundredweight more than the calves that aren't source and age verified. We can also look at natural versus conventional cattle. It just allows us to really pick apart these programs. And so if you're a producer in the Northwest or the Southeast, wherever you are, you can participate in a lot of different value-added programs. And so I'd just encourage producers, take a look at those programs, read the fine print, look and see what those premiums are on those cattle based on source and age, natural, whatever they are, and participate in that.
And the Trends publication allow folks to really get at that and see the kind of premiums for those various value-added programs and just determine whether or not it makes sense for them individually to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we want to get to and get in front of producers in a timely way so they can make those marketing decisions.
So speaking about getting in front of producers, how do you communicate, Mike, with your members?
Well, Kevin, there's any number of ways. I think if we go back to our roots and go back to the beginning of CattleFax 40-some years ago, you know, we started with two basic services. We started with a report that we basically put together at the end of the week and mailed out to folks.
Okay.
That's still one of the primary vehicles that we use today. Secondarily, we've got an analyst service that was begun about the same time that we still do an awful lot of conversation work on the phone with people. You know, trying to bring the most updated information to them. So those are two primary vehicles that we'll still use today. But we've got some new ones. You know, Brett mentioned Trends, which is a new print publication that we produce today that is, again, geared focused for the most part on the cow-calf producer. We use the web much more today than we ever have. In fact, we put up a new website here about 18 months ago that we're very excited about. We've got great reviews back from our customers. And really utilizing any kind of instantaneous technology that we can. We do an awful lot of communication today via text messaging.
You bet.
You know, something that we probably wouldn't have even thought about here a few years ago, but you know, we are truly in the immediate information age. And we spend a lot of time talking about this as a staff. We more and more put articles that we produce during the course of the week up on our website. If it's important enough, we may actually send out a message about something that's going on, whether it's a text message or an email message, to make sure that the people that are plugged in that way through technology get that information and can react to it. Because so much more today, the folks that are waiting to read that in the mail the next week or maybe in their monthly, it is. It's already happened, and that opportunity or that challenge has already impacted the market. So we're excited about all those opportunities. We think that as a staff, we're getting better and better at getting more and better information and analysis in front of people sooner, quicker, so that they have an opportunity to react to those things. Because that's our job every day, is to make sure that our members are plugged in and have the latest and greatest information so that they can make the best decision possible. And that's, you know, we're using every vehicle that we possibly can out there to make sure that we're communicating as well as we can.
So how would somebody get involved in that kind of service?
Well, there's any number of ways. Of course, they can give us a call. Probably the quickest and easiest is just to go to our website, which is www.cattlefax.com, and you can peruse through some different publications that we've got. You can look at what it's going to cost. You know, we still have a place for just about everybody. You know, our membership today really does cover the full gamut of the industry, from the smallest producer, a guy in a part of the country that's got 5 or 6 cows, to you know, the biggest cattle feeders in the world.
Sure. And some retail and food service folks as well,
we
right?
do communicate with them, and it's important to keep them plugged in as well. You know, to make sure that they've got information that helps them, because you know, information doesn't do anybody any good if you try to hold it and protect it. And the fact of the matter is, with the way that the information flows today, you really can't keep anything a secret. I mean, it happens so fast that our job every day is to get up out of bed and come to work and make sure that the folks that are plugged in at CattleFax get the latest and greatest. And if it takes some analysis and some research on the part of the staff, that we get that done and get it out to them, so again, they can make the most informed decisions possible.
For our viewers at home, give us your website one more time.
It's www.cattlefax.com.